I'm from Victoria, originally from Tassie. I play in a band called Squid Fishing, and yeah, we sing and shout a bunch of angry emo songs, which is good for the soul.
Of course, yeah. Cool. So is squid fishing always been based in Victoria, or is it sort of something that came from Tassie?
Yeah, so we all met in high school, and we're all a bunch of noobs in the beginning, and we just got together and we thought, let's just make some loud noises. And yeah, we did a bit of touring around Tasmania, a few gigs around Tassie, did falls and the local festivals kind of stuff.
Cool.
And then we thought, yeah, I don't know, Victoria's the place to be. Clearly, there's just so much amazing talent happening up here. So we all kind of up and left last year, and it's been fantastic ever since.
Wow, what a big move for all of you. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was very logistically it was very difficult, but
Yeah.
we made it to the other side, and that's all that matters.
Oh, that's so cool. So do you all live together?
No, we all lived separately, but yeah, we all came up in the space of a few months, and now yeah, we just get together. Obviously, not at the moment; we can't
Yeah.
practice and stuff. But yeah, it's a very sibling dynamic, so I think it's best we live apart, and then
Yeah.
when we do get together, the love can be truly felt.
So can you give me a bit of a rundown on the members of your band and the instruments that they play and what they do?
Yeah, totally. So Ethan is also a lead vocalist. He shares that with me, and he's also our lead guitarist. Um, he writes kind of half of the songs. I kind of write half, and we write together a lot of the time as well. So he's integral into the songwriting process, obviously. Zen is our bassist. He's absolutely fantastic. He's been playing bass for years and years and years, and he's also really integral into the songwriting as well. He also plays guitar. He's also been writing his songs for years and years, so he's really important part of the process to come in and give his opinion. And I don't know, I just find that he has wisdom and ideas that I would never come up with. So I just am in awe of Zen all the time. And drummer Nelson, yeah, he is absolutely fantastic. He picked up drums for the sake of this band. So he hadn't started playing until he joined us, which absolutely blows my mind. So everything that you hear Nelson playing, he's only been doing for a couple of years, and he's just got a really good objective point of view when it comes to the songwriting as well.
So what artists would you say that either you personally or squid fishing as as a whole admire and are influenced by?
I know for sure we all definitely grew up on bands like Modern Baseball and the Frontbottoms and Basement and those kinds of poppy punk kind of indie emo kind of bands. Although we might not always kind of, I don't know, like sound like them per se, because they do get a bit, Modern Baseball, they're a bit lighter at times. But I think we're all very inspired by that, I don't know, original and authentic songwriting that you listen to those artists and they don't necessarily sound like anyone else.
How about you personally as like a vocalist guitarist? What artists are you influenced by?
One that I've been majorly inspired by is Microwave. I just find that his use of melody and lyricism and the way he writes his songs is so, I don't know, like original, not sounding like anyone else. Yeah, just lyrics that I would never have had the confidence to verbalize and to say and to sing. But when I listen to him do it, I think, oh my God, like I absolutely adore that. So,
Yeah.
and that brings me back to, you know, the thing that I love to hear is authenticity and
Yeah.
originality. So it's not even necessarily that I need to sound like that artist. It's that I need to focus on more on what feels right to me and what feels good to me, sort of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely makes sense. That's super cool. How did you find the move from Tasmania to Victoria, and how did that impact your band? Did that stop you from having so many people at your gigs, or did you find the reach harder with your music, or was it actually positive and benefited you guys?
It was definitely like a period of adjustment for the first few months. We kind of all came up at different times. But when we finally did all make it, yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. Like the Melbourne scene is just so amazing. Like it's so quick to adopt
Yeah.
people into their community. And we were pretty lucky enough that we had done a bit of touring previously. So we'd played in Victoria at least 6 or 7 times. We
Oh,
played in
okay.
a few other states as well. So yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. Like, yeah, it's such a community, and it was just so refreshing.
I'm interested in your songwriting process. Can you give me a little bit of an insight into how your songs sort of begin and then form into like fuller compositions?
It's a bit of madness. It's totally not consistent any of the
Yeah.
time ever. I generally find that it starts with like a sentence or a phrase that really sticks with me, and sometimes I'll also hear the accompanying melody in my head, so I can hear how those few words will be sung. So I almost pick up my guitar, and I'm playing this idea in my head, and I can feel that, oh, the chord I'm playing is not right, it's not right, and then I kind of search around for it, and from there it's just really easy to just like unravel into a progression, and then I've got that melody, so that unravels as well. But yeah, it generally starts with a phrase or a lyric or something that, I don't know, resonates with me, and then yeah, it's honestly just absolute chaos. Like, it just kind of bloody happens, and I'm like, well, here I am, I've written a song, I don't know how I did it, but it's here.
Do you then take that to the rest of the band and work and collaborate on that?
Yeah, it's totally a collaborative process. I find that I'm good at writing a foundation of a song, so I know like what the melody is, what the chorus is meant to go, how it's kind of meant to sound. But I'm not always the best at adding in those little sparkles and those little rhythmic changes, and do you know what I mean? Stuff like that that really, finishes a song. So yeah, definitely, I take it to the band. And I'm like, oh, here's my skeleton.
How about your most recent release? I believe that's Elevator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So what was it like writing that song, and what was it like releasing that during a lockdown as well? And how did that differ from usual releases?
Yeah, that was one song that Ethan kind of did the foundational writing for, and he brought it to us to be like, oh, this is the song, and this is kind of what I'm hearing. And so yeah, it was really freeing to be able to contribute to that and be able to really think about how I'm going to harmonize and the little other little parts I'm going to play. So yeah, it was awesome. It's always awesome trying to write on top of Ethan's songs, because his idea is always fantastic. And yeah, in terms of the lockdown period, we were planning to release it so much later than we did, and then we thought, well, fuck it, like we can't do anything else clearly for the foreseeable future. Um, so I think if anything, it was more well responded to because of lockdown. I find that everyone's kind of like bored. Of
Yeah.
course they are. And so when new music comes out, me personally, I'm like, just give me something, like give me something to listen to. I'll take anything. So yeah, we had a really good response. We had heaps of articles written about it. We did a few interviews as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, it was sick.
And what was it like not being able to do like a release show? Was it good to sort of be able to focus on the release more, or was it difficult not to have those shows and things that usually come with releasing something?
It's definitely a learning curve. Like, we found that we struggled a bit to, I don't know, like find new medias and new platforms to get this to more people, because, online and radio and stuff, that's one audience. And then, yeah, like exactly like you said, like gigging and touring is a whole other audience that you're kind of meant to reach. We had to grind a bit to think, oh, what new platforms can we put this on? Like, we go hard on the promo videos.
Yeah.
And then we put that same design onto merch and stuff to be like, oh, here's the single. So yeah, it was definitely interesting, but yeah, we're just super glad that it still got really well received.
What's lockdown been like as a whole for Squid Fishing? Has it been challenging, or has it been a really nice time for productivity and rest?
It's definitely been a mixture of both for all of us. I find that obviously, because we can't practice and stuff like that, we're all kind of going into our own creative bubbles. And in that same regard, we're all kind of going into our own struggles with lockdown. I can definitely say that we've taken at least most of the time to be super creative. I personally have like written more than I have in my entire life in the space of like quarantine, because you just don't get this much free time like ever. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm not antisocial, but like I'm an introvert, so I'm happy to chill at home for 2 or 3 days to 2
I'm
weeks.
the same, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We've definitely written heaps and heaps of music. The problem is we just can't go and record it yet, but we'll be ready for that day comes.
What have you missed over the last few months?
I think it goes without saying that I miss gigs.
Of course.
Playing obviously is one thing, but even just going to gigs, I just want to like thrash around to some live music and have my ears ringing for a week. So yeah.
Yeah.
But don't worry, next week I'll be feeling